call with Roll Tide Roll. You can talk bacon grease, you can talk geese, you can talk about the way things ought to be. And if you get lucky, you might even talk to Freddie. Talk Congress, crime and cruise ships, celibacy, entertainment districts. Talk politics, just leave his mama out of this. Let's talk about the Constitution.
I'm uncomfortable being called baby.
Just don't talk about prostitution or
Cut that out!
testosterone.
Don't send me things to click.
You can talk football, baseball, and eating meat, tea parties and bringing up children. You can talk city streets, deadbeats, and the way things probably ain't never gonna be. Talk politics, just leave his mama out of this.
What's the matter with you people?
Talk politics, just leave his mama out of this.
Making songs about my mama? Leave my mama out of this now!
Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile. Come on, let your spirit show. Taking pride in Mobile. We're growing, shining, winning, so we're taking pride in Mobile. We're over young, we're fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. We're over young, fast and slow, and we love watching our future grow. Let's tell the world so they will know, and we're taking pride in Mobile. And wherever I may go, I'll tell them I'm from Mobile. Taking pride in Mobile, taking pride in Mobile.
Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. There's old Uncle Joe moving kind of slow at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. I will return.
Message deleted. Press.
Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. There's old Uncle Joe moving kind of slow at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction. I will return.
News Radio 710
Message deleted.
WNTM.
Press.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Just getting word of an accident, 3-Notch Road at McDonald Road. We also have congestion developing near South Broad getting into the tunnel on I-10 eastbound in Mobile. And we have congestion on I-10 west between I-110 and Pensacola Boulevard. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion. Wendy's new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion is here. With a mint chocolate sauce, this treat was designed to be loved. Be sure to get the new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion soon, because just like Girl Scout cookie season, it won't be here forever. Plus, don't forget to order your fave cookies on girlscoutcookies.org. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's and Girl Scouts of the USA.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
The Uncle Henry Show. Weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
Uncle Henry, think about this. What the person tells you about another person tells you more about the person telling than the person they are telling on. Remember that. God bless you, and you have a good morning.
Message deleted.
Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you so much. I appreciate very much you listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Once again, here we are together. Me and you, it's just the two of us here, trying to figure out what is going on. What is really going on? We think we know what's going on, but do we really know? If you'd like to call the show and tell me, 251-479-2723, the telephone number. There's 251-479-2723. Email address, UncleHenry at iHeartMedia.com. That's UncleHenry at iHeartMedia.com to call the Uncle Henry Show. You can also, call or email. Now, before I get into any news items, there's a bunch of news items to get into here on the Uncle Henry Show today at every level. Local, state, national, international, galactic, spiritual, multidimensional. Before I get into any of that, I'm a dog lover, and there's a press release that was put out by the city of Mobile today about dogs. The press release reads as follows. It reads, due to a seasonal influx of puppies at the city of Mobile Animal Shelter, Animal Services Department is in immediate need of adopters and local foster families. To help facilitate all this, all adoption fees are currently being waived for approved applicants. And walk-ins are welcome during regular shelter hours, which are 10 to 4 Monday through Friday. And if you're interested, you go in there, you fill out an adoption form, and then they'll contact you for an after-hours or weekend meet and greet appointment if they have to. And they expect more puppies to arrive at the shelter as temperatures get warmer and spring approaches. So if you've been thinking about getting a dog, there's plenty of them. And if you've wanted to get a puppy, you can go get a puppy. So that is the City of Mobile Animal Shelter. They're waiving adoption fees. You can look them up online and look at adoptable pets. If you want to foster or something, they got an application online that you can find. So just look it up online, City of Mobile Animal Shelter. They need your help. Too many dogs. Now, back to news items. Here we are. And one real quick, I saw the story today that the lady that was running the Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, who was always, I will remember Kristi Noem for how she always looked in the press conferences, she was always wearing some type of uniform or logo of Department of Homeland Security, always. President Trump, he's let it be known that the way you come off on television is very important to him if you're going to be in his cabinet. Yes, now we would prefer that you be really good at your job, but and I'm sure they're all great. But it's also important that you look the part, at least to him. Kristi Noem, she was always there, always looked like she had been to the salon and always wearing some type of uniform or anything. Anyway, Kristi Noem, the headlines are saying she was fired. Kristi Noem fired, but let me see. They're saying that she's been promoted. She's going to instead work for something that's new. The shield of something. It has to do with this hemisphere and Venezuela and getting together a bunch of countries, some type of thing. It's got the word shield in it, which is good. In Marvel Comics back in the 1960s, Nick Fury worked for shield, and Captain America would hang out with him. So this could be similar, which would be good to be in charge of shield or be working there. So Kristi Noem actually she's leaving Department of Homeland Security, which sounds really hard to me. Just from the outside looking in. Looks pretty hard. You've noticed some things that have happened with the Department of Homeland Security that looked pretty fraught with peril. certainly with the PR side of it. She's going from what looks like a tough job to a job that's being created so that we don't know actually. It'd be hard for somebody to say you're not doing good because nobody's had the job before. So this looks like a win for her. She's being promoted out of a very difficult job and ending up at a job where she's going to have international prestige. She's going to be palling around with diplomats and things like that. Maybe a little world leader thrown in here and there. Nobody knows exactly what she'll be doing. Sounds like a win. Now I know the headlines are saying she was fired. Maybe. But it still looks good. It still looks like a good, and I already saw a tweet from Marco Rubio saying that she had done an outstanding job heading up Homeland Security. And now they're expecting her to do an outstanding job in this new, whatever this SHIELD thing is that she's going to be a part of. So it looks like, to me, it looks like a win for her. And they're getting this other senator. I can't remember his last name. I can see him, but I can't remember his last name. This other senator is supposed to take over Department of Homeland Security. Now, did I understand correctly that he used to be a fighter? I didn't realize this. Maybe I got that wrong, but I think, of course, Dana White would probably be good if they could get Dana White to step out of his business briefly and run Department of Homeland Security. But I don't guess he'd want to do that because he makes a lot of money, and Dana White makes a lot of money, you may have noticed. So get another senator in there, but it looks good for Kristi Noem. I hope that if they ever decide to lay me off or something up here, that instead of just laying me off, they transition me into some new position, like ambassador of AM radio at large. Just something like that. Something like Kristi Noem is getting. Some job that's never existed before. Sounds good. All right, there's more to come. I got other things to get into that are more interesting, I pray. And I'll attempt to get into them after the break here on News Radio 710 WNTM.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Just getting word of an accident, 3-Notch Road at McDonald Road. We also have congestion developing near South Broad getting into the tunnel on I-10 eastbound in Mobile. And we have congestion on I-10 west between I-110 and Pensacola Boulevard. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
YouTube viewers, if there are any, hello to you. Let me check. Let me go to the YouTube, which I'm about to activate on my desktop. Oh, yes, we have a small number of people looking in, a small number. While I'm looking, let me change the my background. I don't like having the logo up behind me. It makes me feel like I'm working. There. That's more serene. All right, back to the tiny number of people watching on YouTube. Hello to JD. JD, still excited by the call from Claire yesterday. Thank you, JD. Shino Bucks Worlds, hello to you. The Love Freak 69, hello to you. Thank you for looking. Sharon of Fairhope, hello to you. Bama Big Man, thank you for looking. Norman Richardson. Ben Griffin. There is Ben Griffin. Larry Morting. Pat Nelly. Thank you for listening on AM radio. And thank you for watching on the YouTube. All right. Going to be back on the radio here in about 2 minutes. I've already got a couple of people waiting to talk. Maybe they're going to tell me. Who knows what they'll tell me? You never know. I'm hoping for maybe calls about skeeter hawks or coyotes or something, but you never know. We could get some calls about Christy Nome. Now, let's see. What can I share with you while waiting to go back on the air? Going to be back on the radio in 2 minutes. All right. A woman married for 70 years, Rosalind Engelman. She's been married to Irving, her husband, for 70 years. And she was asked, what is your advice for a lasting relationship? She says it revolves around making an effort to understand each other. Well, I guess if you got 70 years to do it, eventually you do after 70 years. I wonder if there was a follow-up question asking her if she did understand him. She also says she doesn't resent it when he has to work hard. Now, if they've been married for 70 years, he still has to work hard? All right, let's see. Is there anything? Well, not enough time to come up with anything. Back on the radio here in less than 30 seconds.
To Red Pilled America. I get it. You must have pronouns in your bio. Because if you don't, then you should be listening to Red Pilled America. It's a storytelling show for patriots. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America.
This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710 WNTM. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Telephone number 251-479-2723. Hello, caller.
Hey, good evening, Uncle Henry.
Cliff, you are live on the radio.
Uncle Henry, during a Bill Clinton deposition, they started off with a question like, have you ever lied under oath?
Right.
He said with a straight face, but he was smiling. He had a straight face. He said no.
Hey, well, you know, if you put a fish in the water, the fish is going to swim.
Look, this is one thing I don't get that people don't understand. When it comes to the Democrats, they got to lie. That saying that stupid people talk about other people, but intelligent people talk about solutions. You look at what Donald Trump is doing. The man can do two things at one time, but these people can only lie. Jasmine Crockett come out and said the first thing. She lost because the Republicans cheated. She didn't run against not one Republican. The guy that she lost to was was worse than her, perverted fool that said that Jesus was for abortion because of the Immaculate Conception, that Jesus was for abortion. He says that there's 100 genders, and just straight up stupid, crazy leftists.
Now,
And
wait.
then
No, I'm
another
sorry.
thing
Now,
is-
Cliff, I'm sorry to interrupt. Before you make your point, now, see, I didn't know he said that. I knew I'd heard that he was way out there. I didn't know he was that far out.
Oh,
So this guy,
a lot of stuff.
this guy won a primary claiming that Jesus was for abortion and that there are 100 genders.
That's right. And that ain't the other half of it. If you look this guy up, he was one that was on television the other day, got the kids out of school to protest ICE.
Okay.
He's gay, weird, he just about all out there. And I don't understand how Jasmine lost, but that's the way the Democrats work. They'll eat their own to get somebody worse than the person that could get hired, because all she was a race hustler and a lie. But this dude is going to go, he's in line for all the perversion, all the deals that one of the guys even said that if you owned a gun, that was a bad thing. You know, all this stuff, they got to get these people still in there. And she just wasn't, with the race hustling, it just wasn't enough to get her hired.
That is amazing.
Yep, people don't remember. That chick, Stacey Abrams, with her race hustling butt, a few years back, she lost the race. She claimed she had all the votes counted over 1,000 times because she said there were voter fraud. She was running against all Democrats. No Republican or nothing had anything to do with that voter fraud. But the minute Donald Trump said something about voter fraud, oh, it was wrong. Now it's coming out that he was right about that, too. One thing about evil, you know, Uncle Henry, before I go, he say what is known in the dark will come to light. I just hope some of these people that you have to be actually deaf, dumb, and blind not to see how evil the Democrats are. You have a blessed day, Uncle Henry.
Cliff, thank you for blessing us with your phone call. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Hello, caller.
Hey, Henry, how's it going, man?
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Oh, doing good, doing good. I'll be singing this Sunday at the Turning Point Church on Theodore Dawes Extension Sunday morning around 10:30, shortly after 10:30. I don't usually start, but I'm usually somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
But yeah, be singing live with the group and everything, and yeah, all these people, man, it amazes me how many people want to claim that a very successful multi-billionaire, namely Donald Trump, is somehow dumber than they are, when most of them still live at home with their mom and fifth stepdad, you know, down in the basement with their action figures and inflatable girlfriend. And you know, but they're going to talk about how dumb Donald Trump is. You know, some of these politicians that can't seem to make any money until they get to Washington, they're going to, you know, say, oh, Donald Trump's incompetent this, incompetent that. And I'm thinking, okay, where's your $1 billion? And, you know, it's humorous to me because, you know, these people don't have a clue. They haven't had a clue for a long time how to run this nation. They've run this nation into the ground. Donald Trump is trying with, you know, the courts are always, you know, these activist judges are always coming against him, trying to block him from doing this, block him from doing that. It would be good for all of us. But, you know, it's we're so polarized and party-centric, I guess you'd call it, that you know, if anything that he does is going to be, you know, looked upon bad. Not to mention the media has never been on his side.
Right.
The only time media was on his side was when he was in the original primaries. They really pushed him because they figured there's no way that he could beat Hillary. Well, he did, and that was really the only crime that he's ever really committed in their eyes was defeating Hillary Clinton and then defeating Kamala Harris. Other than that, the man hasn't done anything wrong. If he would have done anything on that Epstein Island, that would have leaked back in 2016 before he ever got into office. It would have knocked him right out of the box and everything. They thought that the locker room talk was going to do it, that little tape, but
Right.
we all kind of knew who Donald Trump was before we voted for him. We knew he wasn't a Boy Scout. We knew he wasn't an altar boy. We knew that about him. We also knew the man could make money. And that's really why we voted for him, because, we're tired. A lot of us are tired of, having to struggle so hard just to make ends meet while, all these Washington politicians are, living so well off of our money.
Right.
Do you realize that there's a fund that our tax dollars pay for, and most of the Congress just voted down exposing all of the politicians who had blankual allegations against them?
Yes.
They voted that down.
Yes, they did, and with a large number, and it is, and if you're gonna, they have gone nuts wanting to release the Epstein files. Why won't they release these files? These files, to me, are they're using our tax dollars to pay off people that they have blankually harassed or done worse. We need to see that.
Yeah.
We need to see that. If you are a champion to release the Epstein files and you're not a champion to release these other records, you're a fraud.
Thank you, Uncle Henry. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I got to go into the break, but Steve, thank you for listening. Thank you for calling, and glad you're singing this Sunday at Turning Point Church, Dawes Road Extension, 10:30 a.m. Steve will be singing.
Time saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design.com Traffic Center.
Just getting word of an accident, 3-Notch Road at McDonald Road. We also have congestion developing near South Broad getting into the tunnel on I-10 eastbound in Mobile. And we have congestion on I-10 west between I-110 and Pensacola Boulevard. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Whoever said opposites attract was definitely talking about the new Spicy menu at DQ. Spicy flamethrower chicken strips served with a dip of sweet DQ soft serve. Sounds wrong, but tastes so right. The new Spicy menu at DQ. Happy tastes good. For a limited time at participating locations.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-IHEART.
Authorities find the body of a boater who disappeared earlier this week. Travis White, last seen heading out on a 22-foot boat to fish near Dauphin Island. The Georgia man's body was found 20 miles west off the coast of Mississippi. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency is investigating. Representative Adeline Clark of Mobile has introduced a new bill in the state legislature to give people more voting options. House Bill 27 would allow Alabamians to vote in person 10 days prior to an election. Clark says this will allow more voters to participate.
We simply cannot afford to make voting more difficult for people.
Suspensions announced by the Sun Belt Conference against South Alabama and Coastal Carolina following a fight during the Sun Belt Women's Basketball Championship game last night. For South Alabama, Amaya Sutton, Daniela Gonzalez, and Cordesia Harris have each been suspended for one game. That keeps them out of the Jaguars tournament matchup today against Texas State. I'm Angie Norvell.
This is News Radio 710, WNTM.
Fox News, I'm Daria Albinger. There's a big change at the Department of Homeland Security. Kristi Noem is out, and Senator Mark Wayne Mullen is in.
It's just, pretty humbling when you start thinking about it. A little kid from Westville, Oklahoma, gets to serve in the president's cabinet. That's pretty neat.
The decision comes after Noem was grilled by members of Congress on both sides of the aisle during several days of hearings. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Noem's removal is what Democrats have been waiting for.
Kristi Noem is gone. Good riddance.
Mr. Trump says Noem will be moved to a new security initiative, which will be outlined this weekend. The president calling Mullen, who served 10 years in the House and 3 in the Senate, a MAGA warrior. His nomination is subject to Senate confirmation. House files the Senate and votes down a bill to restrict President Trump's war powers. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, YouTube viewers, if you're still watching, thank you for looking at the Uncle Henry Show here on YouTube. Let me take a quick look at the YouTube chat and see what's going on, if anything. Rick Henry, nice to see Rick Henry. Thank you all. The small number of folks looking in today, thank you for looking. I appreciate it very, very much. Let me see if I can find some things to tell you about. Yes, hello, Rick Henry. Let me see if I can find anything to tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio. I'm trying not to find nasty stories. Unfortunately, a lot of the weird news is nasty. A lot of nasty people in the world. All right, let's see. They just have been holding the camel beauty contests in Oman, which this is real. Breeders, camel breeders, compete for prize money, which is big, and also breeding rights, that can also generate a lot of cash, the breeding rights. So at the 2026 Camel Beauty Show Festival in Oman, 20 camels were kicked out of the competition after veterinarians discovered they'd been secretly enhanced with cosmetic procedures. They used Botox to relax the facial muscles on the camels. Some of them had lip fillers. Some of the camels had silicone implants to reshape their noses. And some of them even had inflated humps. Hey, money. Look, people do things for a lot of weird reasons, but money, when you're trying to figure out motive, always start there and then work your way to wherever it really is. Putting implants and lip fillers into a camel. You know, I wonder, now this makes me wonder, what about all these dog shows? I wonder if people actually try to do things like that at dog shows, trying to win the Westminster Dog Show or something.
The Uncle Henry Show, live weekday afternoons at 5 on WNTM. This is News Radio 710, WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. It's 5:35. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. In the last segment of the show, Steve was talking about President Trump. He was saying some kind and complimentary things about the job performance of President Trump. I saw this story today. Real Clear polling data as of today is showing that among Republican voters, President Trump is at 86% approval rating. Now that's not general public. This is among Republicans. 86% approval. This surpasses George W. Bush was at 77% approval at this point in his second term. President Obama was at 77% at this point in his second term. But Donald Trump at 86% among Republicans at this point in his term. So among his base, the people that actually vote for Republicans, President Trump still very popular at 86% among the people that vote Republican. Again, 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. media.com. Now, on the local level, I just wanted to share with you a brief story from Fox 10 about something rather mundane, but it's something that excites me as a Mobilian that drives around in Mobile. And that is that the city is buying new traffic cameras. Let's listen together as to what impact this might have on all of us that are driving around in Mobile. We'll listen now to Fox 10's report. I believe the report will be done by the investigative reporter Brendan Kirby.
The city of Mobile is investing more than $744,000 in new traffic cameras. The city says the tech could make your commute faster.
The city council approved it last month, and it's part of an ongoing effort to keep traffic moving as smoothly as possible. Our Brendan Kirby explains how this works.
All right, Brendan, these cameras aren't ordinary.
No, they're not Linus and Cameron. These video detection systems use artificial intelligence to help engineers fine-tune how long lights stay red to maximize traffic flow.
How long lights stay red. Now, wouldn't it be wonderful if lights didn't stay red for an eternity? We would all appreciate the light to change. Let's listen together.
Traffic engineers tell me that they can improve efficiency to the point of saving the cost of adding an additional lane in some cases.
This is a very popular camera during Mardi Gras. We use this a lot.
From the Mobile Traffic Engineering Department, Assistant Director Adam Spence can get a real-time look at dozens of intersections.
This is how we get our eyes out in the field when we don't.
By the way, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wish they'd make that a channel. You know, I'd love to add that to my TV streaming package, is the Mobile Traffic Camera channel. Yes, I'm the type, I would sit there and eat some popcorn and just watch a lot of interesting things happen at these intersections. You know I'm telling the truth.
We have to get in our trucks and cars and waste time and drive. We use these cameras to basically give us the ideas of what we need to go and solve.
For years, the city has monitored traffic counts. The 5-member traffic engineering staff can call up data from any intersection. But in 2024, Mobile launched a multi-million-dollar upgrade effort that now offers a real-time look at traffic conditions. Tyson Henry and Craig Burchell are among the many Mobile drivers who have particularly hated traffic.
Oh, I love this. We're going to talk to frustrated drivers now. I would like to know where they're going to be when they do these stories so I can be just standing there ready to talk.
Traffic spots.
So right there, Broad and Government, that light is ridiculous going towards that tunnel area.
Airport Boulevard's a mess. I try to stay off of Airport Boulevard.
City officials insist they're making progress. In the past, Airport Boulevard traffic lights were on the same cycle, meaning the lights stayed red regardless of how much traffic there was. Now there are 13 different cycles that change at the time of day. Spence says changes made last year to the western portions of the road resulted in a greater than 15% decrease in travel times. This is Claiborne Street at Canal Street. This is one of the most aggravating intersections in the city when it comes to traffic lights. Look at this thing. It's been red forever. And a lot of times there's not even any traffic going in the opposite direction.
It's funny you mentioned that one.
That's the department's director, Jennifer White, who says one of the engineers just finished programming a new controller for that light.
We're going to be installing it within the next month.
White says the new cameras not only allow engineers to monitor traffic in real time, they also use artificial intelligence.
The technology, and now especially with AI, has gotten a lot better. And this new system that we're using is just a much better system than the older cameras that were kind of stationary and only just detected traffic. These now with the AI will also collect data for us. So it's just a much better system.
The city already has 18 of these new systems and will install the additional 29 in West Mobile, bringing the total to 47. They're not cheap, but Spence tells me that the city saves money in the long run by collecting traffic data that the city had previously been paying for. One other thing, don't worry about Big Brother. The city says these cameras don't record, and by state law, the city can't use cameras to issue tickets for running red lights. Reporting live in the studio, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.
Okay, Fox. By the way, Fox 10, thank you for doing that story because I like the idea, and I look forward to better performing traffic signals in the city of Mobile. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, how you doing?
Snake Trapper, you are live on the radio.
Uncle Henry, I like the idea of the cameras being used to keep traffic flowing and to better help people with their commute.
Yes.
But, Uncle Henry, it may not be right now, but I guarantee you that in the future that is going to lead to traffic tickets. I don't know if you're aware of it, but it's happening in Florida, and it started out under the same pretext that, they were going to, make the people's commute better. But, man, they are issuing tickets right and left, from what I understand, in Florida. So that may not be the case now, but I guarantee you that's where it's leading to.
Well, we must fight against it leading there. We must block that path. We should make sure that only human beings can issue tickets. We do not want artificial intelligence. We don't want them to have some computer say, the computer has calculated that you're likely to speed, so here's your ticket. We don't want that. We want a human being.
Well, Henry, I agree with you 100%, and I would like to see the city council go ahead and move forward with a resolution to make that permanent where that will not happen. Because if something like that don't, Uncle Henry, it's going to get there. Because I'm sure they see in what's happening in Florida how much money it's generating from tickets being handed out there. It's just Big Brother watching us, Uncle Henry. That's all it is. And two, Uncle Henry, that listening to Cliff's call about that Torello fella, that just beat Jasmine Crockett. Uncle Henry, he is one of the worst of the worst. I mean, I've heard them saying clips. It was a few years back where he was saying that God was non-binary and that there are. I didn't hear 200 genders like Cliff said, but I did hear him say 6. And man, he's he's radical. I'd like to know where the men are in the Democratic Party today. Your John F. Kennedy Democrats and your Lyndon Johnson's, Uncle Henry, they don't exist anymore. There are no men Democrats that have backbones that can stand up. I mean, if you're a Democrat and politician, you have to believe in the transgender movement. You have to believe that there are many different genders. You have to believe that children can decide what sex they want to be. It's crazy, and we need some men in the Democratic Party.
Snake Trapper, thank you so much. Beautifully said.
Yes, sir, Henry. You take care, bud.
You too. Thank you, Snake Trapper, for your phone call. Now, what's going on? How could somebody like that run for Senate in Texas? How could they ever get enough votes? Is Texas gone weird on us?
In Pensacola, look out for a crash with road blockage, Hobson Lane at Softly Field Road. And in Mobile, crews have been on the scene of an accident on 3 Notch Road at McDonald Road. Slow on Highway 59 from I-10 to Gulf Shores, 52-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places to take credit.
YouTube viewers, thank you for looking. Let me make sure that somebody might be watching. Pat Nelly is there. Bama Big Man. There you are. Matt Green. So I don't know what's going on with Matt Green that he would watch, but probably isn't still watching. But hello to Matt Green in the past. All right, let me see. What can I talk to you about before going back on the radio? The state of Washington. Washington State is about to pass a law that would ban employers from forcing workers to get microchip implants. Now, in the bill, if it becomes law, businesses cannot ask, require, or pressure any employee to be chipped for any reason. Now, the sponsors of the bill say so far no one has reported employees being forced to be microchipped. They just want to get ahead of the problem before it starts. So look for this. This sounds very Alabama legislature-ish. So look for this maybe next session. Banning enforced microchipping. In fact, I'm surprised that Washington State is on this and Alabama hadn't already been on it. We like to get ahead of things in Alabama. Have you noticed this? Now, I've got video game news for you. Microsoft has filed a patent for a system that would let AI step in and take over a difficult section of an Xbox game for you. So if you're not good enough at playing the game, you would be able to request help, and then the AI would take over and play for you to get you past the hard part. What's the point of playing? What's the point of playing the game if you ain't going to play the game? But they're gonna make money on it. They've applied for a patent. You'll have to pay extra, I'm sure. All right, well, that's nice. I guess if you're a lousy video game player, this would be really handy. What else can I tell you about? Going to be back on the radio here in about 90 seconds. Let's see, in the Guinness Book of World Records, an electronics enthusiast in India has set a Guinness World Record by building a fully functional arcade machine that is less than an inch tall. It features a working screen and 4 buttons that allow you to play a game of Space Invaders, but it's that tiny. Now, the man in India that invented this, does he have a girlfriend? This is I always want to know when a man ends up in the Guinness Book of World Records. Do you have a wife? Do you have a girlfriend? Do they let you do this?
Yes. Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710, WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
Uncle Henry Show, it is 5:50. News headlines coming up and then more Uncle Henry Show. Telephone number 251-479-2723. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, it's Josh Woods. How are you?
Josh Woods? Wait, the councilman?
Yeah. You have to excuse me. I'm like probably 2 or 3 or 5 minutes behind you. I'm watching the live stream from T-ball practice, and I saw that you covered the traffic light cameras and everything.
Yeah.
I just wanted to call in and brag about that. That's a huge thing. When I first ran, and one of the reasons I ran was I was sitting at a red light right there at Greelott and Hillcrest, and traffic wasn't moving, and I kind of thought, well, somebody's got to do something about it. So ended up, ran the first time, didn't get elected, ran the second time after the guy quit, and got elected. And traffic's always been my focus. And really in District 6 out here, I don't want to brag, but in 2024, I will brag. In 2024, we kind of kick-started or kind of amped up the traffic reorganization or revitalization. In District 6, we spent over the last 2 budget cycles, our first 2 budget cycles I was in, we spent about $2 million reinvesting in our traffic intersections. And I'm extremely excited about, what Brendan covered. Those 29.
Yes.
Like he said, those 29. Most of them are out in District 6, and they're really covering the majority of the intersection of the newly annexed. So, we're about to start repaving out here in West Mobile. I'm at Woodridge right now watching T-ball practice, making sure my kid doesn't get hit in the head or anything.
Yeah, good.
But,
good.
Being a good parent. And then, so we're gonna start repaving, or really launch a huge repaving, but also too mainly all these intersections out of those 29, especially out here in West Mobile, are getting adjusted. And just to kind of shed a little light that they didn't say, intersections, there's kind of like three parts. There's like the detection, which those cameras are, and I've seen them at work, so you don't have to worry about them taking your tag number and giving you a ticket. They basically have I want to say probably like a 15 or 30 second memory on them. And, they basically, you pull up, they detect you're there, and it starts the cycle. And then the second part's kind of like the guts of the box, which is kind of a big proponent of the system. And then kind of the third part is the redundancy. And, with this, and, as we're working through the city, as budget allows, everything's getting interconnected, kind of like the traffic engineering said, it's getting interconnected to basically one big screen where you could literally sit on your couch if you wanted to, or the desk that we have eventually at AlDOT, and kind of manage all these intersections. So as problems arise and people call in, you can literally go into the guts and fix whatever part of it is. So I was super excited that passed. I appreciate the mayor funding that, and looking forward to kind of seeing what the results are out here in District 6.
Absolutely. I love it. Love the idea of it. Love the idea that we would be a little more modern with all of our traffic signals. And how are things? Well, since I got you on the phone, I've got less than 2 minutes. How are things in your district?
Going well. Like I said, we out here watching T-ball. We've really brought West Side ballpark up to speed over the past couple of years. It's the largest ballpark of kids playing. We have opening day on Saturday. Yeah, starts at 7:15, so we'll be spending all day out there. Like I said, we're reinvesting. We should have a bunch of repaving contracts going in, especially in the newly annexed here shortly. And basically, kind of got the budget that we're going to repave every new neighborhood in the city and continue our repaving on what was existing city. We'll have everything repaved out in the newly annexed by 2030. The red light camera stuff that's going on, that's really gonna bring everything up to speed. Our district's thriving. We're the place that Mobile comes home to, and I'm very excited what the next couple of years has in store for us.
All right, well, Judge, I got to run. I would love to have you. Would love to have you as a guest. Bring some other council people with you. Would love to have you come in here and talk about your districts.
For sure. We've been talking about it. We'll get with you. Maybe in the next couple of weeks, we'll come see you.
All right. Josh, thank you so much for calling the Uncle Henry Show.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Uncle Henry.
All right. There he goes. Mobile City Councilman.
Josh Woods.
Josh Woods.
Jock Wood.
Yes, indeed. Jock Wood. And, I'd like to get a few of the council people in here all at once. I've noticed that now Josh doesn't talk a lot at the council meetings like some of the other council people do. Maybe get them to come out of their shell a little bit on the show. Anyway, got to take a time out. We have news headlines coming up from Fox, and then there's more Uncle Henry Show coming up. In fact, there's another infrastructure project. It's not in Mobile, north of here, that I want to talk about. I'll get into that and other things as the Uncle Henry Show proceeds forward after the news break.
Securing America.
A House Armed Services hearing Wednesday discussed the state of the defense industrial base.
YouTube viewers, thank you for looking at the Uncle Henry Show. I'm going to be back tomorrow at the regular time. Thanks again. I do appreciate you. Have a pleasant evening and a pleasant tomorrow.